Hello, I'm Jim Hamilton, Executive Director of the Dakota Baptist Convention. I want to share some important information with you about the Baker State Missions Offering and Week of Prayer. The Week of Prayer features missionaries serving in North and South Dakota. The Missions Offering is designated to meet special needs in the Dakotas like pastor and family emergencies, church planting, and ministry events hosted by Dakota churches. Our Missions Offering goal for 2008 is $20,000. All this information and more is included in your Baker Missions packet. I want to encourage you to pray for our missionaries and give to the State Missions Offering as we strengthen ministry, share Christ, and start churches across the Dakotas. Here's Dee Peterson. Listen as she shares the history of the Baker State Missions. Others will follow Dee with testimonies about how the State Missions Offering has made a difference in their life, their family, and their church.
I've had the privilege through the years of knowing many Christ followers and missionaries. It's just been wonderful to know them. And one of the ones that I have become a special friend with through the years was John Baker. It was good getting to know him, and then working with him was just an exceptional experience. He was an understanding person. He was an outstanding person in many, many ways. He had been a very prominent, successful businessman when he felt God calling him into the ministry. And so he went to seminary. He quit all that he had been doing financially and everything, and then went to seminary. And following seminary, he pastored several churches and then was called to the Colorado Baptist Convention and was on the state staff there when Northern Plains Baptist Convention was formed. When it was formed, they of course looked immediately for someone to serve as the executive director, treasurer, and John was one that they decided upon unanimously. We loved him and loved serving with him. Then when we chose to name the State Missions Offering after him, I remember going to him and we asked him if we could name it Baker State Missions Offering or John Baker Missions Offering. And he was overwhelmed. He said, the only way that I would allow you to do that is if you include Clyde in some way, because Clyde has always been my supporter, and she truly is a Christ follower. And so we named it then the Baker Missions Offering, or the Baker Offering for State Missions, without any first names, feeling that that was honoring him more. It was very missions-minded. He would help to start new churches. He would encourage the pastors and encourage the lay leaders always. He is one that definitely we should have that missions offering named after him.
Hello, I'm Randy Kerr. I'm the pastor of Grassy Butte Mission, and this is my wife, Margaret, and we want to tell you about how the Bakers Fund helped us out. My wife was working, and she had, as they've figured out now, was a very severe allergic reaction to something, and they're not even sure right now what it was. But she couldn't breathe, and she was having a high rate of for her heart, and they took her to a clinic, and the clinic decided, because of the condition that she was in, to rush her to a hospital. It was an event that we certainly weren't expecting, an expense that we certainly weren't prepared for, an expense that we didn't have a means to meet at the time. And they informed the state convention, and through the Baker Missions Offering, they paid our full expense for the ambulance service that we had to pay, and we didn't have to pay anything. And we are grateful that we had the Baker funds and the people that gave, that helped us out in our time.
Hello, I'm Pastor Mike Petz, and I pastor the church in Newell, South Dakota. And I just want to say thank you to the Dakota Baptist for helping us through the Baker Mission Offering. And by the way, we're in Region 3, in case you wanted to know. But anyways, how were we helped? Well, last spring we had some problems with our van. I went in for a routine front end alignment, and they had to redo the whole front end. So they helped us to pay for that. And then secondly, our church was going through some challenges last summer, and they weren't able to pay for my salary. So through the Baker Mission offering, the Dakota Baptist Convention helped us, and they provided for our needs during the next 6 months. And so we're just very grateful that we could get that kind of help, and we could just continue to minister to the people in Newell. So again, thanks Dakota Baptist.
Hi, I'm Sally Jessic and from LaPlante Baptist Church in South Dakota on the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe Reservation. And I'm here to thank you, Baker Missions, for your support over the years. And one way that you have really supported our church and many of the Native churches is with First Nations Family Camp. This summer when we went, it almost seemed like a taste of heaven. The singing was so wonderful, and we were thrilled. 5 of our people went forward for salvation, and 2 people were baptized. So we just really wanted to thank you for your support of First Nations Baptist Family Camp. Thank you. They have every year they also have an event for the ACT teams or for the teenage girls events. And we've done that over the years. And it gives them such an opportunity, our teenagers. It's not just Native, it is for all teenage girls in the Dakotas, under the leadership of Janet Angel. And Baker Mission has always supported us, and they helped us to keep the expense down so that we could afford to go to it. Every 4 years we go to a big national event, and we got to go to Kansas City, and that was in 2007. And what really blessed me is that you helped us to get a small bus. Otherwise, we would have taken 3 vehicles and 3 drivers of us women who would have been very tired of being with the girls. But we got to go on a bus thanks to you, and we were in 1 vehicle, and it gave us more unity and a lot more fun. We're supporting also the Acting Impact and the youth girl events, and we pray that you would also continue to support us because it has a wonderful outreach to our youth. Thank you very much.